So let's go right into it here. And our first story here, I guess, is about a group that's doing their malicious activities. What can you tell us, Matt?
So Elderwood first came to light around 2012. It's more of, and it's still kind of fuzzy, more of a platform / development house for exploits and exploitation.
Right.
Was used back in 2012 as part of the Aurora attacks, which, if you remember, that was a lot of high-profile targets were hacked. And it seems they're still continuing to work even to this day in 2014. In fact, 3 brand new 0 days came out of this shop, we believe, in the first month of 2014. Now,
Right.
Symantec has a really great write-up on it, and they actually speculate a little bit as to the layout of how this group operates. They have 2 main theories. The first one is that this is a sort of a master shop that has smaller teams which it sort of assigns the work to and provides the exploits and the exploit kits. The other possibility is that this is a group that sells the exploits to these other smaller groups, and there's not a direct command and control, but rather a marketplace. So it's maybe you consider a very, very specific and closed marketplace for these high-value exploits. I found it personally interesting because you don't get to see much analysis on how the groups themselves operate. Mostly you get technical details, here's the malware, here's what it does, but it's more of showing the roots behind from an organizational standpoint.
Right.
There are several groups that were listed, several campaigns. Hidden Links and IceFog are 2 that viewers may be familiar with. All in all, I thought it was a great article, and I think it sort of gives sort of a view into how things sort of operate from a political or a operational standpoint you don't often get.
Yeah, I think that's an important part of threat intelligence in the sense that, the more you can understand the actors and the tools that they're using, it helps to develop some insight into how their techniques might change over time or how they might not change. And, sometimes it's the things that don't change that give you an opportunity to be able to detect them better and get working on the mitigation or at least even prevention if at all possible. So absolutely, I think that sort of article is very valuable in that sense.
And understanding how these actor sets have relationships with each other is important to kind of get a sense of how these different groups and operations might interlink with each other in some kind of maybe master plan type of thing going on.
So a lot of the different Elderwood groups were targeting different industrial sector and aerospace and things like that, and that may suggest, heavily that they're involved in, IP theft. Whereas if you had another group, you would see that they're mostly, interested in money, and they would have a whole different structure in the way that they're operating and getting new jobs.
Yeah. Now, Jim, you've done a lot of work in sort of tracking and getting some idea of how some of the 0 days have taken place and the mechanisms behind it. Have you seen any trends? Has it been an increasing, or are we kind of stable? Do you think these groups have a significant influence on that?
It seems pretty stable. There are groups out there that are actively looking for these things and developing them and sharing them. I haven't actually read a whole lot about Elderwood and how it's working, but we see the 0 days coming all the time, and it seems to be a lot of the same bad actors that seem to keep finding them. So.
Yep, they're certainly well tooled for being able to find these 0 days, and there are obviously some tools and techniques behind it that, as we get deeper into these, hopefully we'll get some better insights in how that's taking place.
Well, the article does speak to that a little bit, and it says that the exploits themselves are you could reverse engineer them, but to turn out this many in such a short period of time suggests either you've got a really great underground marketplace for buying these exploits, or you've got some serious developers who are able to create them on their own. So either way, whoever's behind Elderwood is fairly well resourced.
Right. Well, and then there's always that possibility that the source code that they're finding the 0 days in has been stolen.
That's a very good point. And they do seem to focus primarily on Adobe and Internet Explorer. So
Drive-by vectors.
exactly, watering hole tile attacks.
Right, absolutely.